And welcome into this edition of ACAP Today for the week of August 8th, 2022. I'm Jason Parent with the Aroostook County Action Program. On this week's edition of ACAP Today, we're going to talk with the participants of ACAP's summer G2O program. We're going to explain what that's all about in just a little bit with our lead of prevention services, Meg Hegman, and the team, the G2O team themselves. We're going to meet them in just a little bit, but before we get to that, first, the news and information that you can use again for the week of August 8th, 2022. And we begin with the news and information that you can use with this. The Back to School Bash is happening August 10th, this Wednesday from 10 to 4 at ACAP 771 Main Street Presque Isle location. It will include the distribution of backpacks for youth that have been signed up for the backpacks for school-age children. As well as giveaways, free clothing, informational booths will be present from not only ACAP services, but from some of our community partners, as well as fun activities and games. The backpack distribution must be registered before the event, and you can find that link on the ACAP website at www.acap-me.org. We look forward to seeing many of you from 10 to 4 this Wednesday at our 771 Main Street Customer Service Center. As a note, backpacks will be distributed to other centers across the Aroostook County if you have signed up for a backpack, so that you can pick up your child's backpack at a location more convenient and nearby you. So just be aware of that. Those will be available this week as well at your local ACAP facility. We also want to remind folks that we resume in the month of August with our farmers markets. We held 2 in July. We held one just last week on the 4th. The next upcoming one is on the 17th of August. That one's coming right up, as well as the 29th of August. And then there will be 2 in September on the 8th and the 14th. This is part of our partnership with the WIC program here at ACAP and Gons Farms. The farmers markets are open to anyone. Certainly women, infant and children program participants can use their WIC voucher to participate in the farmers market, but it is again open to everyone, and it is at our 771 Main Street Presque Isle location from 9 to 4 on the dates designated on the poster on your screen. We also want to remind folks that the school year, the new school year, is starting very shortly for many in Aroostook County. It's this month, as a number of schools do recognize potato harvest, but our Head Start and Early Head Start programs are also enrolling for a new school year. We have a partnership classrooms throughout Aroostook County with new pre-K opportunities in Caribou, Limestone, and Van Buren this year, as well as new partnerships in Fort Kent, and of course our classrooms, our traditional classrooms in Caribou, Dyrebrook, Fort Kent, Holton, and Presque Isle. If you want more information on Head Start, Early Head Start, which covers families prenatally all the way with children through the age of 5, you can certainly give us a call at 554-4176. That's also the number you can call regarding childcare services as well. Maine's collaborative workforce, which includes ACAP, is continuing to host a number of training sessions for Mainers looking for employment or to improve their employment skills. Sessions include interviewing tips and tricks, making career choices, resume cover letter development, job preparation and retention, and navigating a job search and hiring process for individuals that might have had a criminal history or criminal background. We encourage you to participate in the sessions. You can find it on a link on the ACAP website. You can also register for them at any time, and they are held virtually, and they are taught by leaders from across the state that are part of Maine's Workforce Collaborative, the partners listed there on your screen. In our COVID news for the week, we want to remind folks that we are continuing to encourage vaccination and boosting as needed, although Maine levels across the state are currently at green. At least this was the information we had available to us last week, which is a relatively low transmission rate. They are still talking about new variants that are coming in the fall and additional vaccinations that will help cover those new variants. So please do keep aware. You can go to maine.gov/COVID-19/vaccines for the latest information and a location near you to register. There's also free at-home COVID tests that continue to be available through the covidtest.gov website and accesscovidtest.org. There has been sort of a reset on the covidtest.gov. So if you previously ordered tests, you might want to check again because your household may be eligible for a new set of 3 sets of 4 free at-home tests. And we also want to remind folks as it relates to vaccination that as of mid-June, the Maine children between the ages of 6 months and 5 years of age are now eligible to get vaccinated against COVID-19 after federal regulators approve both Pfizer and Moderna vaccines for young children. We encourage you to have a conversation with your medical provider or pediatrician and look to schedule those for your 6-month to 5-year-old as well. We also want to remind folks that ACAP continues to provide community support services for individuals who are asked to quarantine or isolate as a result of a COVID-19 diagnosis. That includes grocery and meal delivery, assistance with sheltering or staying at home, and other supports that are available. You can call our office directly at 764-3721, or you can go to the COVID community care for social support on the DHHS website. Just look up COVID-19 and this is one of the links that's available to you. You can request this support service for other folks that live away from the area, and the local CAP agency in that area is providing the services in that region as well. And lastly, if you are in need of any assistance at this time, if you're struggling with anything and you have any questions, you can certainly give us a call at 764-3721. We do have navigators here within our agency who are very well aware of all the programs and services that we offer, as well as the programs and services offered by some of our partner agencies across Aroostook County. And that's this week's news and information that you can use. I'm so pleased to welcome now for our feature interview, well, you know Meg Hegman. She's been on the program before, and she leads our prevention services here at ACAP. So Meg, first I want to welcome you back.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
And in just a moment, we're going to meet the members of our G2O project team. But before we meet them, Meg, I wanted to get an understanding from you, because we talked about this as part of a broadcast earlier, and we put some information out in the community. But for folks who don't know, tell everyone what G2O is, what it stands for, and what the project is all about.
Sure. We have actually advertised the positions that were open on this very program. G2O is the acronym for Gateway to Opportunity. It is a summer youth employment program, and it is coordinated through the Maine Youth Action Network. So Mayan is one of our partners on a variety of different things. And we have been working with them on ways to increase youth engagement. We've been attending their trainings and doing a variety of things in partnership with them. And so they approached us with information about this summer youth employment program that kind of pairs a project at a host site with career exploration, a lot of the things you were just advertising through the workforce development partners that we work with as well. And so this is specifically coordinated and geared toward adolescents. And so we thought it was a great fit. So ACAP agreed to be a host site for the summer. It's a 6-week program, and our amazing team of local young people, they work 20 hours a week, and they get paid through Maine Youth Action Network for that time. And so many of those hours are spent working on the particular projects that ACAP has, and then several hours a week are coordinated and facilitated by Mayan and the team leaders, and you'll meet Belen as well, another local person who was hired by Mayan to lead and be a mentor to the team. And so those folks really facilitate the resume writing, the interviewing skills. There's some career exploration, those kinds of things. So it's really a pretty well-rounded program that enables us to really develop relationships. And in our case, because of our project, we're really digging into what young people want and need and what their opinions are as our team is getting information from their peers. So it is a statewide program, but this is the first year that ACAP has been a host site.
And it's been very exciting to have the energy of the ladies in this building. So I'm going to transition it over to Belen, who's going to, in a moment, introduce herself and the team. But Belen, You're all sitting there looking quite serious, but I want to share as you sort of add anything that you want to add to what Meg just said about the G2O program. There's this picture that was taken of you, sort of like your own version of the Beatles' Abbey Road picture that I'm sharing with the public now. And as I share that, talk about a little bit further about the G2O program before I have you introduce yourself and your teammates introduce themselves.
Thank you. Well, with Gateway to Opportunity, I think what's amazing about this program is being able to connect our youth to what it means to work and develop their own ideas based on a project given by the site, in this case, ACAP. And for me, I am currently going into teaching. So I'm currently at the University of Maine here in Presque Isle, and I want to teach high schoolers. And for me, this is a great opportunity to learn about how to connect with youth, how to work together, and for them to share ideas with me as to how to connect in the community. So it's been a great opportunity for me, a learning, as you may say, here this summer for me as well, into my own personal career development, and also help wonderful youth participate and feel valued and know that their work is worth and how much they're worth in our community. And so I'm really excited. That's something that picture you see, I'm having a lot of fun. I don't even know, it's a crime to call it work right now.
Well, Belen, you started to introduce yourself a little bit there in telling us that you were a student at the University of Maine at Presque Isle, but you're so many more things than just a student at the university. Let's meet you and have you tell those who are viewing a little bit more about who you are and what you brought to this project.
Thank you. Well, my name is Belen Doherty. I am a veteran. I am a mother of 2 daughters. Again, I am currently a student at the University of Maine in Presque Isle. I am their policy scholar researcher for the year. And I am concentrating in elementary education with a concentration in social studies.
Wow, that's an impressive resume already, and I'm very interested. Before I move on to the next individual, want to sort of understand how you found out about this program and what made you decide to sign up.
Well, it was given to me by an email through the education department at UPI, and it was laid out as a leadership opportunity for youth connection and workforce in our community. And because although I am concentrating in elementary education, I do also have goals of obtaining a certification to teach high school. So for me, this was just a great opportunity to have experience working with youth and the teams that I would like to inspire, who inspire me every day, that I know is our future. So that connection through the email, the way that it was worded, the opportunity for them in regards to creativity in the workforce and the exploration that goes into other networking within our community was very valuable. So that's why I joined.
Very interesting to hear what it was that attracted you to the program and how you got connected with it. Let's meet one of your team members, or teammates, I should say. Allie. Allie is the second person on your screen in that box from the left. So Allie, let's have you introduce yourself to the community.
Thank you. I'm Allie. I am a Presque Isle High School graduate of 2022. I am going to NMCC this fall to earn my teaching degree, hopefully to teach ages 3 through 5. No.
That's awesome. So why don't we have you share as well what made you aware of this project and this team, and what have you found exciting about it?
I learned about this project through high school in my homeroom. I went to the guidance office and signed up. I was really excited to join this program, to come out of my shell a little bit more, work more in the community, and find new people to work with and hopefully make some new friends.
Great. And to your right, Allie, is Gwen. Gwen, let's say hello to you first of all, and welcome to ACAP Today, and let everyone know who you are.
Hi, I'm Gwen. I'm currently a junior at Fort Fairfield High School. And yeah,
So talk about what got you interested in this program.
I found out about this through the JMG program in Fort, and it just sounded very interesting. It sounded like something I wouldn't really want to do at first, but like I've learned how to like communicate with people more, and it just brought me out of my comfort zone a little more.
Are you one of the younger team members? You're a junior in high school. We have a high school graduate and a college student. Are you one of the younger members?
Yeah.
Great. Well, let's move on next to introduce your next teammate, and she is Jamie, and Jamie is sitting just to the right of Belen there. So she's the fourth from the left on the screen. Jamie, tell everyone who you are.
I'm Jamie. I'm a junior at Prescott High School. Yes. I don't know.
How has this helped you you're heading into are you a junior coming in as a junior or coming in as a senior this fall?
I'm coming in as a junior.
You're coming in as a junior. So how has this helped you? I mean, you're again one of the younger members of the team as well. How has this project helped you, and what was it that attracted you to it?
So my homeroom teacher would talk about it every morning for like those 2 or 3 weeks straight. So I was looking for a summer job at the time because I already have a weekend job, but I was looking for something to do during the week. So I went down and got it from guidance, and it sounded like something I would do. And it's definitely helped me a lot. Just during the first like 2 or 3 weeks, it's definitely gotten me out of my social anxiety a little bit, and I'm starting to have better social interactions with people.
Oh, that's good to hear. I've enjoyed having the energy that the team has brought coming in and out of the building. It's just been great to have you all here this summer. There's one more member of the team we want to introduce you to before we hear a little bit more about the specifics of the work that you've done. And that's the person in the middle and right next to you, Jamie, there, and that's Rebecca. So Rebecca, tell everyone who you are, and I'm going to share your slide like we did the others.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Matley. I graduated from Caribou High School this year. I'm going to be majoring into English because I love to write. I'm fascinated by the ways that stories, capture attention and everything. So I hope to go into fictional writing. That'll be exciting.
That is exciting. And you are just a recent graduate. What are your plans this fall?
I plan to go to NMCC because they have a free college thing right now. I plan to get my liberal arts degree, then go on to a university, not sure which one quite yet, to major in English.
That's wonderful. So I hope to read one of your books someday. It sounds like you're on the path to being an author. So great to hear that. All right. So I want to know about the experience. Some of you have shared a little bit about the experience. What are some of the things that you've done in the course of the summer and enjoyed?
So we got to go out to Rocket on Riverside, and we got to go to people to market a survey that we created for this project. And so it was just really interesting to see people and how they reacted to us trying to solve the connection problem with youth in their community.
Anybody else want to add to that before we go on to another question? Jamie, are you?
We have been very successful with our survey. We have gotten 203 responses. We have figured out there's a lot of bot issues. So in total, we have 103 real responses from real people that we know of currently. And we have had a lot of cool incentives. We had a Mario Kart Nintendo Switch bundle, AirPods, iPad, gift card baskets, Visa cards, McDonald's cards, Tim Hortons cards, Dunkin' cards.
What is it that you all are hoping that comes from the result of your work, from the survey that you're conducting, from what you've done and what you've learned this past summer? How does that translate for all of you moving forward in your own sort of career paths, if you will, but also for the community that you've been surveying and serving and connecting with over these past several weeks?
I don't know about everybody else, but I'm hoping that through the results and through the work of this program that we're going to be able to reveal more about the youth and make it so that way people are more easily able to communicate, and it's just there's not such a divide anymore.
I agree with Rebecca's statement.
Belen, what are your thoughts as sort of the team
During
leader?
our meeting, I loved what Jamie said, that they wish that the data that we get actually does something, that we can implement that with something and create something out of it, you know, so that hopefully their feedback, their analysis of the research, ACAP can take seriously and understand a little bit more of what the youth need in our community. So I thought that was really important.
Have you taken a peek at the data yet, or is that it's still coming in and you're still working on it?
I think it's still coming in. Another part of this that people don't understand, I think, is how much it goes into the logistics. You know, how much of it goes into the wording of coming up with a survey. What do words mean? How are people interpreting it? And what kind of data we're trying to collect. Also, into the ordering process of ordering the incentives, the budgeting. They have taken care of all of that. So really, I'm just here to maybe probe some questions and make sure that they have all the answers that they need. But they have come up with the questions. They have received information from other types of surveys that were conducted around our community. And that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work for the first 3 weeks, a lot of work to collect data, to collect information, to collect addresses, to actually do a raffle, and also in the upcoming weeks, analyze this information and try to process that to give a good, what are we doing for the last presentation? The last presentations.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I'm very curious to learn from you is what have you taken in terms of some challenges that you've had to overcome with this project? I remember a couple of weeks ago, I was leaving the building and you were all coming into the building and you kind of had a sad look on your face. And I said, is everything okay? And you explained to me just quickly that you had a setback with the project, or you were facing some sort of a challenge. And I think that those of us, and Meg and I both on the screen, and I know Belen and all of the work that you've done in your background in the military and as a college student, and all of you in your high school careers and now heading into college, all of you have had the opportunity to face challenges in your lives, but have the challenges in this project been unique, and how have you worked to overcome them?
Well, our first big challenge, or not our first one, but the biggest one in my opinion, is that we had bots. We were so excited because we made our goal for how many people we were wanting to take the survey. We announced it to everyone. We were so excited, and then like what, 2 hours later, we figured out, like 2/3 of the survey responses were from bots. So it was just disheartening, and it just felt so awful to be like, oh, so we celebrated for nothing.
It was really difficult for me because I was the one sending out emails to all the real people / bots, just sending them out, having to repeat it, and then getting emails back that were formatted the same way, had the same information, skipped over the address part. And there was a couple where I've sent an email back, highlighted your shipping address, and they completely send an email back in a different language. So that was a big setback.
So how did you go? Go ahead, please.
But what we did after that was we decided that we were going to have to take the bots out one by one. But while we were while the survey was still open, we were going to go around town and try and market it even more, get more people that we know are, humans, because they're walking on the street to take it. So just a bunch of in-person contact was made that week.
That helped a lot.
Awesome. So you've learned not only how to face adversity, but how to overcome it, and a challenge that you all experienced. What was that like for you? I know that I could hear the discouragement in your voice when you were talking about, learning that it was bots that had been replying to your survey, but how has it been since then and overcoming that, and you're sort of changing course and making it work, taking the lemons and making lemonade, if you will?
Well, as I said before, it was really discouraging, but now I think we feel a little bit better knowing that so many people were bots, because there were just answers to the survey that just didn't feel right. Us knowing, our peers, we were like, that's not a majority of people. Why is it like that? So,
And also when we looked back on the Google Sheet based on the answers on the survey, we found out a lot of the answers were similar, which seemed kind of like weird, because they seemed like automated, like they were all just like formatted to answer that way, which seemed very different from the rest of the answers that we have gotten.
Yeah, and like Rebecca was saying, us being in the community and knowing not exactly what's going on, but mostly what's going on within the people. The results we were getting because of the bots are definitely a big difference to what we were expecting to get.
And so, taking sort of this experience all in, what advice would you have for ACAP or for other community partners who are going to receive the results of the great work that you've done all summer, and have the opportunity to do something with this data, do something with this information? What is the advice that you would give in terms of what you're seeing could be, should be, and needs to be done in our community as it relates to engaging youth like yourselves?
Definitely be careful when you're posting stuff on Facebook or any sort of social media, because you never know who's going to see it or how many responses you're going to get that aren't actually real people. To just monitor how you put it out there.
And definitely use the information we get to come up with something that isn't just teenagers working for you and saying it's a teen program.
And don't just stop with this information. You have to keep connection with the youth, because each generation is a little bit different, and just keeping connection with the youth to ensure that everything that you're doing makes sense to them and to their community.
And to not later on lose that gap or make that gap even bigger than it already is.
So you are from different communities. They heard Fort Fairfield, Caribou, Presque Isle. Did any of you know each other before this experience?
I have seen Jamie and Becca around high school before, just in the hallway, but we never associated with each other at all.
When I was in Caribou, I had a class with Becca for 2 or 3 weeks.
So
yeah. I don't remember any of them, but they're like, oh my gosh, I totally saw you. I'm like, oh, it's so funny.
And I've seen one before when I've ordered from the Funnel Cake Shack. Definitely.
Okay, I made the connection. Then Gwen, you must live up the street from me. So let me just ask about the connections that you've made since you sort of knew of each other or had seen each other or recalled seeing each other after you met in this context. I'm going to share one of the pictures that you shared with me now. It looks like it's from Presque Isle. Maybe it was on an evening of Rocking on Riverside, because it's around in that vicinity. But it looks like you guys are quite the good group of friends now. Is that true to say?
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotten to know each other. What has it been like to get to know each other and to sort of understand each other from different communities, different backgrounds, different ages, different parts of your academic career, some in high school, some headed to college? What has that been like?
It's been really fun and interesting to learn about each other. Even though we all come from like a different sort of situation, coming all together in this completely different and new program was exciting and gave us a common ground for us to learn and grow from each other. A major part of being able to be such a close-knit group was being able to be funny and make fun of each other with each other. I mean,
To not have it be such a strict work environment. Like you just have to do work. You have to be serious. It's nice to have fun with it too, to have breaks, have activities we've done like Mario Kart, where we can bond together and become better team members.
Sounds like maybe best summer job ever.
Yes.
Let's go sort of across the screen and get last thoughts from each of you. Anything that we didn't share about the G2O program, your experience with it, anything that you want the community to know. Let's start on the far end with you, Gwen. Thoughts? You want me to come back to you, Gwen?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go on to Allie. Allie, what are your thoughts?
I don't have any.
Anything else you want to share at all?
No, I think we covered most of it.
Great. All right, Rebecca, your thoughts? Anything you want to add?
Just that youth are people too, you know. We were talking with marketing and we were trying to explain how like TikTok worked and everything, and it's that it creates a human connection more than it creates an ad. We want a human connection more than an advertisement, and so other places can take that, you know, and learn that we're not scary, you know, except we kind of are. I mean.
Your fears.
We love to laugh and we love human connection. So don't give us ads.
Don't set us up for failure. Is the biggest thing.
Well, I think what you've proven is that even when you meet a challenge, you rise to overcome it, as you did with the situation with the bots. And that's, I think, very admirable and speaks to your tenacity and your willingness to sort of get the job done and work through the challenges. Jamie, want to get your last thoughts?
Definitely, like when you are, like I said earlier, when you're using our information to come up with some routines, don't just have it be them working for you, working with younger kids, because a lot of the programs that I did when I was younger, once you turn 14, 15, you're expected to start working with the younger kids instead of being a part of the program, but still having to like pay to be in the program, but you're not doing anything.
Good advice. Gwen, did you think of anything that you wanted to add?
I think we basically covered it all. I think but yeah.
Well, great. Now I want to get the last thoughts from you, Belen, and then we'll wrap it up with Meg.
Thank you. I just want to say that Gateway to Opportunity is a great way for our community who has the opportunity to give the chance for teens and youth to understand what it means to work in a more youthful way. It's a great platform. Like they said, the expectations are meant for age appropriate development, which I think also allows them to learn more about themselves, learn about their community. And when we talk about career development, I think it's not about what are you going to figure out right now, but it's a growing process, especially when you're a young person. So I think if more people in our community take a chance on our youth and open up their platforms to help, we will have more engagement, more community assistance, and also a sense of belonging for our youth. And I'm just really proud of this group. They have been amazing. They're amazing to work with. And I just cannot wait to see how they do in their future. I told them that I will always be here for a reference, as a friend, you know, as anyone that they may need, because they inspire me so much. So I'm hoping that they leave with that each of them individually are so valuable, not only to this program, but to their community and now to me.
Belen, I guess I want to just ask you to follow up on that, if you could, about, given the diversity of all of your experience, you're a mom, you're a college student, you served your country. What has this experience added to your own personal very diverse career?
Oh gosh, it has added so much into my personal growth and development as to how do you approach work in a safe way? How do you approach work, like I said, developmentally, my expectations. This summer for me, especially with this work and this group, has given me a lot of view into how I'm going to approach my future career and what I want to see and what I want to do for my community, for them. And that's, I think that I haven't had an opportunity to work with youth before. I've always worked with people, you know, my age, I guess, my age group. And this opportunity has given me a look into all the things that I'm learning in my college education and the implementation of it and how that looks and how that can be applied and how it actually works or what doesn't work.
Belen, you're going to make an outstanding educator, and to our 4 youth participants, your future is so bright. So pleased that you were able to spend this summer working on a project that clearly has been so meaningful to all of you. And Meg Hegman, I think that as you reflect on what these project participants and the team lead have just said, I can't help but think that you must be pleased with what you're seeing has come as a result of the inaugural G2O program here in Aroostook County through ACAP.
Absolutely. I think I'm struck by so many different things and really intend to take to heart the perspective, especially that Jamie was sharing around, don't just pay lip service, right? What will really be impactful is how we use their perspective and their feedback. I've been really struck by the professionalism and the quality. I think it's very easy for us to, have teens doing, and many of these folks have other jobs as well, doing food service or bagging groceries or those kinds of things. And the capability, that intellectual prowess, the capability that these folks have, I think we shortchange a lot. And, just by way of example, we had a survey that adults put together for teens. And we had a prize, and we attempted some amount of outreach. We had a whopping 9 responses. And so, yes, the team likes to rub that in my face a little bit now. So even with the bots, even with that discouragement, they're at 103, right? So the idea that adults can sit around and make decisions on behalf of young people, I think is just more dangerous than anything. And so one of the key pieces of this research has been this sense of youth connection to community and whether or not they matter, and know that they matter within their communities, because the data shows that young people who do not feel that they matter are at infinitely higher risk for substance use, for suicide, for depression, for all sorts of really detrimental outcomes for the entire community. And so that is not something that adults are going to address on their own. And so it's very much been a process of working with. We had some idea of kind of the overarching idea of what we wanted for a project. And then really we handed it over to Belen and the team and said, okay, but what do you think? And so the project shifted and has gone with their passions and how they wanted to approach it. And I think that's been really key to not be doing something for or to young people, but to be actively engaged with them. And that's one of my hopes going forward, is that team will not just disappear. They're all local, they're staying local, they're going to local colleges and high schools. And we really hope that they will remain engaged with us to partner on implementing the changes that we know need to happen based on their input.
Absolutely. We need that voice to continue in the implementation phase as well. So Meg, anything else that you want to add about the program or the opportunity and experience to be a part of it from the level that you were a part of it? And that was probably at the best extent of just getting it set up and letting our program participants take it from there.
Exactly. Really, really appreciative of the CDC grant that made the funding for this possible. Maine Youth Action Network that goes to such incredible lengths to do the recruitment and set up the foundation of the program. And eternally grateful to the high schools, those who helped us get the information out so that these young folks could come be a part of making life better for people in Aroostook County.
Indeed. And thank you to you, Meg, and thank you, of course, to our project team members and leader for just an extraordinary summer of great work and great insights. And we look forward to continuing working with you to advance this work in the community, as it is something that we want to make sure that we do moving forward, is to engage you in meaningful ways, as I feel that you have been engaged this summer in doing this work. So Meg Hegman and our GTO project team, thank you so much for being on this edition of ACAP Today. Before we let you all go and before we leave our audience, we want to first of all share with you our photo of the week. And as we've done each week this year during ACAP's 50th anniversary, we are taking a throwback snapshot, and this week we take you back to 1999, just before the new millennium, and the ribbon cutting for the Mommy and Me room at the Aroostook Center Mall. This was in 1999, and the Mommy and Me room, it's still there today at the mall. It allows a place for mothers to go to change their baby, to breastfeed their baby, and just to have a quiet place to go with their young children to support them and support the moms in particular. So obviously something important to our programs here at ACAP, including the Women, Infant, and Children's program, and to the healthcare providers, many of whom are represented there on the screen back in 1999, including the local city officials and Chamber of Commerce that were there to celebrate the opening of the Mommy and Me room. And with that, that's this week's edition of ACAP Today. We thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back next week with a brand new edition. And again, a special thanks to our GTO project team members and lead for being on this week's program and sharing their great work with us. We'll see you next time.